All right. This is really getting old. So here we go. Number 4. Try number 4. Oh, man. Unbelievable. Sorry, folks. I apologize. I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. This is nothing to do on my end whatsoever, just so you guys know. Nothing to do on my end. This is just games that are being played, and they're being played all over the place by whoever is playing those games. But we just kind of have to deal with it. So, again, if there is an interruption in this one, which we hope that there will not be, because I don't want to have to keep doing this and saying the same thing over and over again. If there's a problem, I'll get right back online again. I'm not giving up. So this is the 4th try, so we'll see how this one goes. But YouTube is mess. And it's not, like I said, and I know it's not just me. It's a lot of people that they're messing with. They don't want people out there telling the truth, waking people up. They don't want that. That doesn't fit the agenda for people to be awake and to be ready and to be as free as you possibly can. Because why would you ever want to do that? They want you to be asleep at the switch, continue to do what you're supposed to do like a good little minion, and not, question anything. So. Okay, so let's get back into this. Okay, so we were talking about New York, Washington State, and California. That window has closed as far as getting things, doing things, I believe. Now, you may still be able to get out to the store. Hey, Josh, 3,500 commies. How long before all states are shut down? Well, what I had said last Sunday, which is a week ago today, I said a week to 10 days was my guess. Now, that could be another week, but I absolutely see that coming. You got to understand something. We're going to talk about something here just in a second. Hey, Baroness, difficult not being overwhelmed. You're helping YouTube. Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. It's just it just gets really, really frustrating. So we're going to talk. I'm going to give you something really, really quickly. Okay. Now this kind of tells me how much BS China came out with from the very beginning. To reach 100,000 people infected, it took several weeks. Okay. From 100,000 to 200,000, hey, SoundThink, they're not calling it martial law, but the cops are arresting people for being out. Well, yeah, they're not calling it martial law, but it's basically martial law. Yeah, absolutely. And thank you very much for that donation. Okay, but to hit from 100,000 to 200,000 cases, it took 12 days. All right. From 200,000 to hit 300,000 cases, it took 3 days. So I want you to just wrap your head around that for a second. Now, we also need to remember, in the United States, only 195,000 people have been tested so far. That's it, in the United States, 195,000. And out of that, in the U.S., we have 33,382 positive cases. Order of the true force. Hold on a second. Let me just see what he said here. How do you prep for the psychological impact of being confined to your house for possibly many months and avoid falling in depression and suicides? Find things to occupy your time. We'll talk about that just in a second. Try hitting speedtest.net when you get YouTube outages to prove it wasn't your end. We know it's them. Oh, yeah, Bradley, you know what? The only time I have issues ever is with the live stream. Other than that, I have zero issues whatsoever. Thank you very much both for that, donation. I appreciate that. And getting back to the first question, boredom, being home for 2 months. Okay, learn, read, get books, ebooks, whatever you got to do. Get online, learn information, practice things. Set goals for yourself. Now, if you're in suburbia, like if you're in a city in an apartment, that's a lot harder. But if you're in suburbia or if you're in the country, get those gardens in, folks. Big gardens this year, okay? Be as active as you possibly can. Stimulate your mind. That's how you beat depression, and that's how you beat boredom. If you can stimulate your mind and do things, pretend you're living in a submarine. That would suck, Bob. I'm sorry, but pretending I lived in a submarine would not be a whole lot of fun. But stay active. So here's something you can do at home. I mean, it may sound silly. Yoga. Get yoga videos, watch yoga. You want to really relax yourself, get yourself in better shape in the whole 9 yards, do yoga. Hey, Asif, love to listen to Audible books. Yeah, I mean, it's like, and that's something you can do. Do you think we will have a baby explosion? Absolutely, Prepper Chris 1. I think 9 months from after this, You're going to see a whole lot of babies born all over the world because people got to do something with their time. And if they're stuck home, that's what they're going to do. So, yeah, I think you're going to see an explosion big time. Let's see. China will get, hold on a second. I want to make sure I read that comment. So hold on a second. I wanted to see what that for. China will get uncovered for their fake numbers compared to ours if we ramp up. Oh, absolutely, Antonio. You're right. They will be exposed. That people already know that they've lied from the very beginning. If they had been truthful from the very beginning on this thing, we might have had a better chance of controlling it. Now, everybody knew they were lying, and still all these different countries were not ready for this. Hey, Chase, why not go rucking with your spare time? Well, there you go. You can go on hikes, go off into the woods. I mean, if you're not going to be around a whole bunch of people, so absolutely get out there and hike and do that type of stuff. Dave S. China recently had 14 million. Oh, hold on a second. I want to make sure I read your comment. 14 million phone cancellations, the equivalent of that many people canceling their credit cards. Some suggest they're dead. Well, you know what? That would not surprise me at all. Red Wolves 2015. Me and my mom went to the store, got some extra supplies. I have formed a group with my neighbors, and we are trading supplies. I am learning how to cook. There you go. Very, very cool and very, very smart. Occupy your times. Occupy your minds. Just don't sit around and be bored and watch, as my grandfather affectionately called it, the idiot box all the time, okay? Do things to sharpen your brain, Like I said, yoga. You can do yoga. You can exercise at home. There's things that you can do. Read. If you're in suburbia, get out there, garden, do all those things. Guys, we're up to 1.7 again in the chat. If you have not shot a thumbs up, I would appreciate it if you would do that, and thank you ahead of time. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please make sure you do subscribe and make sure that you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. Okay, so, but what do we got? Donna Smith. Hey, Ed, I'm so disappointed in our country's response. They're in an exceptional growth phase. Numbers will double every 3 days. You're right. They absolutely, Donna. And we can't blame it all on Trump, okay? Because it's not all on Trump. I mean, he's ultimately the head of the government, but it's the whole system dropped the ball on this thing, and they're still dropping the ball. Thank you very much for that donation, and you are absolutely right. The numbers are going to jump exponentially. Again, we've only tested 195,000 people in the U.S. so far. We need to be testing everybody. Anybody that is out and about and doing stuff, again, 8.5 million people in New York City alone. Hey, Sound Thing, do you think that trucks will stop running? Truckers are under tremendous pressure. No, I think that they'll keep them running because they need them to keep the supplies going. I know that they've dropped a lot of the mandation as far as control of the truckers, so they're just going to work them even harder, unfortunately. Hey, Jay Medic, what changes do you see the grocery stores making? I think what you're going to see, which they've already done here, okay, they're limiting the amount of stuff that you can get at any one time. So you can't go in there and buy cases of whatever anymore. You can buy 2 or 4 of like cans of soup, and then you can go and get 2 or 4, green beans or whatever it is you're going to get. You can't go in there and buy stuff by the case anymore. So they're limiting what you can get that way. I know that they're limiting the number of people they allow in a store at one time. And I know that different places now, especially here in New York, they have like red strips. When you're standing in line, you have to wait beyond that point. So that's what they're doing too. Meredith, 4 Mile Creek Farm, husband supposed to drive. Oh, hold on a second. I want to see what you said here. Supposed to drive to Iowa from New York for the next week. Should I insist that he stay home? Well, if he's driving and he's just dropping stuff off, when he gets to his destination point, my advice would be make sure he's wearing a mask, have it in the truck with him. He doesn't have to wear it when he's driving, obviously. But when he gets to his destination, have that N95 mask. Make sure that his trucking company provides that, and gloves, and use those when you're unloading and getting the stuff where you want it to go, and then get out of Dodge. So, that's what I would recommend for your husband to do. Thank you for that donation as well. I do appreciate that. But yeah, staying active in